Hey everyone, welcome back. Today I have a really simple but really fun mani for you, and I'm really excited about this glitter. It is not only a reflective glitter, but it is a thermal. So yes, it changes color depending on the temperature. So when it is warm, which is what it is in my nail room right now, it's this beautiful sagey green. It's gorgeous. I love this shade of green. And then it changes. I will show you all of the transitions, I promise. On my ring finger, I'm just going to do an accent with a really light gray, almost white dip and do a little sticker accent. But we're going to get right into this dipping process. I will be using my double dipped liquids, and I am going to be using my Dipped in Chaos to do the lay-in method for this glitter. If you notice that little white spot on my nail, what I realized that is, this happens to me sometimes, and I couldn't figure out for a while what it was, why I was getting these little white spots underneath my extensions. So I realized this time that what I did was I didn't allow the glue under my extensions to fully dry before I started cleaning off like dust and stuff. And the isopropyl alcohol that I used on my nail brush got under my extension and turned the nail glue white. So if you ever see that happen, that's probably what it is. So I would just make sure that your nail glue is completely dry before dusting off with any kind of isopropyl alcohol or anything like that. Just best practice. Lesson learned, right? So you might be wondering, Jess, this is a fine glitter. Why are you doing the lay-in method? And my answer to that is, because it's easier. And I'm a little lazy. No, seriously, what it is that because it is a thermal and because it is densely packed with this glitter, I like the lay-in method because I get a more even coverage. Like if you see when I lay my finger flat, it's full coverage in that one dip. That's it. I do two dips just out of habit. I'm a 2-dip girl. I do 2 dips of color, and then I do an encapsulation in clear. That's always how I do my nails because I like the strength of it. But as you can see, perfect coverage. And a lot of times when a dip powder is this dense and you dip into the jar, it can create, wrinkles and buckles in the dip powder. And I don't like that because it means a lot more filing for me. So I chose to do the lay-in method, and I think it worked great because application was very, very smooth. And I do have to say, Double Dipped killed it with these thermal reflective glitters. Like, I haven't tried the other ones. I ordered, I think, 2 other colors, like a pink and like a periwinkle blue. They're both stunning. Since it was close to St. Patrick's Day, I thought, I'll do green. And then, of course, I didn't get it uploaded before St. Patrick's Day. So, well, it's fine because it's not really a St. Patrick's Day mani anyway. But in all seriousness, these thermal reflective glitters are really unique and I love them. I've seen them popping up on like Instagram and Facebook and TikTok and all those platforms, but honestly, Double Dipped hit it out of the park. Wait until you see, and I am going to show you the thermal transition at the end. I'm going to put my hand in a bowl of cold water. Bowl what? Bowl of cold water. I'm going to put my hand in a bowl of cold water. Words are hard. Anyway, so you'll see, and there's a little bit of a surprise in there that I didn't see coming. So I am really excited to show you that. And that reflective glitter, I'm going to show you what it looks like under a flash at the very end too. So anyway, I'm going to stop yapping away here. I'm going to let you finish watching this last layer of this gorgeous reflective thermal glitter. And then I'm going to encapsulate those nails and I'm going to activate them before I apply the lighter solid color to my ring finger. And that's simply to avoid contamination. I want to keep the glitter from getting into that light gray dip powder and ruining, because God, I can't stand it when there's a rogue glitter stuck in my solids. So that's why I do it that way. So when I come back, we're going to get into the accent nail, and it's going to be super quick and simple. So I'm hopping back in here to say I was mistaken. I forgot to activate the glitter nails, which is okay, because even just having the layer of clear dip powder will somewhat protect you from getting the glitter into your solid nail. But best practice, in my opinion, is to activate those glitter nails and then dip into your solids. I just simply didn't do it this time. I don't know why, but it's okay. Anyway, so this is just a basic dip application. I am going to apply my liquid, dip my finger in. That's it, nothing fancy. But while I do that, let's talk extensions. I have on these new short, sharp, square, say that 10 times fast, short, sharp, square, full coverage tips that I got from Vivid Glam Co. And I was really excited to try them. I love the way they look on other people. And honestly, I don't dislike the way they look. But having worn them for over a week, I've discovered that I don't love them functionally. For some reason, the corners, I whack them on things, they crack, they chip. I've had to repair these like, I don't even know how many times, because the corner will chip off or what have you. I'm over it. I think I'm going to just stick with my go-tos, which are my medium coffin and my medium almond nails, and occasionally stilettos. The square nails just don't do it for me. I don't like having to repair them so often. So that's a bummer, because I really kind of like the way they look a little bit, but it's not worth all that work. Am I alone in this? Has anyone else had this experience with like sharp, square, like, I don't know. I'm just struggling with them. But let me know down in the comments below what your feelings are on that subject. In the meantime, I'm going to finish activating. I'm going to file and shape everything off camera per usual. I will link a filing and shaping video that I've uploaded on my channel in the cards if you're interested in watching that. But with a little bit of editing magic, we are ready to apply this sticker decal. These are from iGel Beauty, and I love that this one has just the slightest little bit of green that goes really, really well with this thermal color. And you can see there on my thumb, it has changed a little bit because of the activator. Anyway, so I'm just using a little bit of sticky base coat. The one I'm using is from Maniology, but I'm just using that because sometimes these decals, especially stickers, don't like to lay flat, and sometimes, you know, you'll get some lifting, and I want to avoid that, so that's why I did that. And then once I've pressed it down with my finger, I'm going to go in with a layer of my dip base coat, and I'm going to let that dry. And while that's drying, I'm going to go in with my activator for my last and final activation to prepare for top coat. Now, once that accent nail, the base coat over that decal, is mostly dry, I'm going to put activator on that too. Now, the key word there is mostly dry. I don't let it dry all the way because I'm going to apply the activator, as you see here. And then while the activator is drying, I'm going to take my finger and I'm going to press down on that decal. And I'm doing this to make sure that it is laying completely flat and that there is no lifting. You would do the same thing with like a chunky glitter, and that really helps the glitters to lay flat. But it's the same exact idea, because while the activator is curing the dip base, you still have enough time. It's still wet enough that you can kind of flatten it down with your finger. And it works really, really well. Now you might wonder why I encapsulated with dip base instead of with a clear dip powder. And the reason is because I already felt like my nail was thick enough, and to add another layer of clear dip powder on top would have been too much, in my opinion. And the dip base, it works just fine. Now, I could have filed and shaped my nail, put the decal on, then encapsulated, and then buffed and shaped. That just feels like too much work for me. And this method works just fine, in my opinion. So I'm going to finish applying my top coat, and then I'll come back and I'll show you all the magic in this one little dip powder. All right, here's my finished mani. I'm pretty happy with the way that this set came out. Like I said, after wearing them for a while, I was not crazy about the sharp square tips, but if you don't try, you don't know, right? So here I'm going to show you. I'm going to stick my hand in this. This is just cold tap water, seriously, from my faucet. And look at the color change. It goes from that sagey green to a teal. Now look at the tips. It's like a Kelly green. Holy Moses. I thought this was just a thermal. This is not just a thermal. This is a triple thermal reflective glitter dip. Look at those three colors. The sagey green, the almost tealy green, and then the Kelly green at the tip. What? Mind blown. Okay, now that I've demoed the color change and my hands are not in the water anymore, I'm going to apply some cuticle oil, as I do at the end of every mani, just to make sure that everything is nice and rehydrated after all the torture I've put my poor little hands through. While I'm doing that, I am wondering, have any of you tried any of these new thermal reflective glitters that have been popping up? I am personally a huge fan of thermals and UV changers and glows. I just love all those, special effects. And speaking of special effects, look at that reflective glitter. Oh boy. Yeah, that's pretty magical. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button so I know to keep creating content like this for you. And I hope you'll subscribe if you haven't already. Look forward to seeing you in the next one. Bye-bye now.